Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Joined with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Joseph.
Yellow.
And Jehu. So I think for the first time in like 2 months, we're going to be doing news. Why not The Flash? Well, nobody saw The Flash.
That's true.
Not just us. I mean, you might have saw it.
No, I haven't. I have wanted to, but I haven't got a chance.
The rest of the globe has not seen The Flash.
I'm definitely excited to see it just because of how bad the reviews are.
Yeah.
But I just haven't had the chance.
It is, it might go down as the biggest flop of all time. It is losing a lot of money right now. So the question is, do I go see it or does I wait the 3 weeks till it'll be on Max? Because I might just hold out for Max.
It's just, I mean, again, why did they stick to their guns on this one?
Yeah.
Why did they, I know we've got things to talk about, but why did they throw Batgirl in the bin? But like, oh man, this thing that we've went through like 50 directors on and 40 scripts, and we've essentially already made 2 versions of this fucking story, and our star is as canceled as a person can fucking be. We're still going ahead with it.
Well, you know what? That's a good point, Jehu, and it can bring us to our first article of news, which isn't on our list, that Andy Muschietti has already been given another DC project in The Brave and the Bold. He will be directing Batman in the DCU. I haven't seen The Flash, so I have no idea how he does with Keaton, but...
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to know how much of whatever's not working with The Flash is his fault. He's the guy who did It. Is that the same guy?
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I mean,
so that's a really spotty track record.
I mean, the thing is, if this is even remotely watchable, then he probably is a hero.
Yeah, I've heard the Batman bit are the best bits in the movie.
Right.
Both Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton.
All right, on.
So I don't know. Maybe he is the guy to bring about 40-something-year-old Batman with children. To the big screen, but. This is my favorite piece of news in the last 2 months. I'm very excited to talk about this. Okay. They're rebooting Dragonheart.
They sure are.
With, I think the rumored cast, if I remember correct, was Taron Egerton and...
someone you don't like.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
But I'm on record in our set. If you're gonna make a new CGI grumpy loner dragon, Liam Neeson is the guy for the role.
Liam Neeson is kind of the guy. We when we talked about this in our text thread, I said this is the cast that ChatGPT would pick, and Joseph immediately proved me wrong. He asked ChatGPT, and it was not this cast.
It cracks me up because I feel like one of the things that I think is I don't know if odd is the right word about the first Dragonheart movie is I've never looked at a dragon and imagined a heavy Scottish accent.
Yeah.
But apparently that's like now the thing we associate with Dragonheart because they're like, well, we don't have any famous Scots, but we'll get a thick Irish accent and it'll probably work the same.
Yeah. Taron's going to be a step up of old Dennis Quaid, but I don't know that I'm going to enjoy it as much.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if the first one's a good movie, but I love it. And I don't know. There's no way this one could hit me in the same way as the first one.
When's the last time you guys rewatched it?
Oh, God. I mean, the last time I rewatched it, I had to adjust the tracking.
Yeah.
So,
that sounds about right.
It hasn't been that long ago for me. I mean, when I say that, it probably 5 years.
Right.
But I definitely have caught it on like TBS or on Netflix or something. But yeah, I don't know. This is very fun. Also for casting, rumors. I think this has been confirmed anyway. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Joseph, did I say that correct or no?
Okay, it doesn't matter. We're going on.
And Juno Temple have been cast in Venom 3, which I guess is going to start filming soon. I don't know where it stands with the writer's strike, but hey, listen, Juno's riding high off that Ted Lasso money, and the guy his name I can't pronounce is a good actor. So I guess these are wins for Venom. I
mean, the thing is, and we'll talk about the flip side of this in a little bit. But, I mean, these movies, the Venom movies, despite not being good and not really even being of the times, have been hugely watchable so far just because of Tom Hardy chewing up scenery.
Sure.
And I'll watch another one of these. Again, much like Dragonheart, I don't know if this will be good, but I bet it'll be fun.
Any ideas on what the story would be?
No clue.
It doesn't really matter.
Did the first two have stories?
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying we shot our load with old Carnage.
I mean, that's true. We've already used his big bad.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder about people who are venturing into superhero movies for the first time with these Sony spin-off movies. Is it because no one else has asked them, or Is it because they are just like absolutely not tuned in, and their agents are not tuned in, and they're like, "This is a great shot. These superhero movies make money."
I'm thinking Sony just pays well.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know. It can't be about the art form.
I mean, I'm going to talk about this later when we talk about the trailer, but I'll do it now. I do feel like there is sort of a, if you don't have any interest in this genre, then probably Zack Snyder and James Gunn are equal to you. They've both made movies. They're stylish and have made money. Mm-hmm. You would have no idea that one is good and one is probably not good. And I think that's where these guys are coming from. They just, I'm sure they have personal assistants. You can't trust the internet, but send them to the fucking comic book store. Just ask them, hey, is this a good idea? Mm-hmm. I think that's the market research they need to do.
Yeah, I think, probably a good spot. We like to typically group trailers together, but since we're on the note of Sony spinoffs, we have the first Craven trailer.
Yep.
And that's something.
Man, it really looks like, to me, it just looks like a script that they had in a drawer, and they're like, we can tweak this around a little bit and make it a Craven. And it looks like also nobody in this knows anything about Craven or probably even Spider-Man, and they don't give a shit. They just like, well, the people like this shit, so it'll make some money.
Two things. One, we say this a lot, but I do feel like the Craven trailer feels like it was an SNL skit about like Wolverine origins in like 2006,
right?
But in 2023 somehow,
right?
And two, it fucking cracks me up that Sony's whole like with the Amazing Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were like, okay, we only have these Spider-Man villains pretty much as our properties besides Spider-Man.
Right.
We'll just hammer in a Sinister Six and that'll be a movie. And that flopped really hard immediately.
Right.
It's like, what our problem was? We were doing them all at once. We really should do them one at a time. Right. That's what's really going to get the people into the theaters.
And like, I think, this was probably true of Jared Leto. This is definitely true of Jared Leto, but it's probably, what's this guy's name again? The guy playing...
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. Aaron Taylor Johnson. It's probably true of him, too. They probably looked at Tom Hardy in this and thought, well, even though that's not a great movie, that guy was having fun hamming it up. And I can probably do that, too. But I don't think these guys are Tom Hardy. Mm-hmm. Tom Hardy is unique, and that's a unique setup where he can have the conversation back and forth with himself. Like, there's nothing like that for Craven. Also, you remember that story of, we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, but with Sean Connery, passing on the Matrix, passing on the Phantom Menace, and then going with fucking League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yep. Like, man, Russell Crowe's got that vibe.
Yeah.
Like when he picks something that's out of his wheelhouse, it's the Mummy reboot or this. And I can understand how when you make a movie as awesome as the fucking Nice Guys and it bombs, it probably just breaks your brain.
For sure.
You're probably just like, how do I pick what's good?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Russell Crowe is like, I don't give him a pass on whatever the fuck he wants to do for the rest of his career because he's done enough,
Right,
like he can just do floppy bullshit for forever.
Right.
But like the rest of these people are like stars, like quote unquote on the rise, who are making a big mistake.
And I think that Aaron Taylor Johnson is really going to become a cautionary tale in this because I think before this trailer went out, everybody on Earth was like, that guy should be James Bond. And now we've seen that trailer and we're like, maybe not.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add that you guys have already said. It looks ridiculous.
It's terrible.
I also hate how hard these movies try to be like, Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's not going to be in this movie. Or is he? He's not. He's not
He's laying on his back and there are spiders. And they're like, oh my God, Spider-Man? No, he's not going to be there and it's stupid.
We've talked about this before, but I saw something a long time ago that changed the way that I consume the internet, which is if you ever see an article where the title is a question, the answer is always no. And I think that applies here too.
Yeah. All of these movies just... I hate the Joker. I don't like that movie, but I will say the Joker is the exception here.
Right.
And they're all trying to catch this lightning in the bottle, and it's just not... It's not going to happen.
I mean, I do not like the Joker, but I feel like you should watch The Joker. It was trying to be something.
Yeah.
You know, that is not the case. I mean, I guess these guys are they're trying to be something. They're trying to be like Daredevil 2003. You know?
I respect that. Yeah. Speaking of movies from 2003, Lord of War is getting a sequel.
Hell yeah.
I love the first one.
Yeah, it's great.
This one will be better. No Jared Leto.
No Jared Leto. He's dead.
He dead. The moment this guy got released from prison, people started writing the script for this movie, and Nick Cage was happy to do it.
Sure.
So, and I'll be happy to watch it, truth be told.
I mean, you guys know what a strong supporter I am of Nick Cage, so I'm super on board with this.
Also, on the note of actors trying to revitalize their career, The Rock is going back to things he knows makes money. We got the announcement that they're making a live-action Moana movie where he would come back as Maui. Sure.
Yeah.
The guy who directed Hamilton will be directing the movie. And, shocker, he's back in Fast 10 and he'll be in Fast 11. Dude, Black Adam broke that guy's fucking brain.
It's just funny because when the static started between The Rock and Vin Diesel, everyone was on The Rock's side. Everyone thought Vin Diesel was ridiculous. I don't think we're thinking that anymore.
No.
It's kind of like when The Rock came back to fight John Cena and everybody just assumed The Rock was going to be the hero, and the crowd got on board for John Cena. Something that, even though he's always a babyface, they had never really done. But they got super behind that dude. I think The Rock doesn't always know what's cool about The Rock.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The rundown is what's cool about
The
Rock.
rundown is what's cool about The Rock.
Villain wrestling Rock is what's cool about Rock.
Even to the Fast series, Hobbs in Fast 5 is so fucking cool.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Right.
And you kind of dilute that character as you go on.
Right.
But this is a fine return. For Moana, I could give less of a shit about.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't give a shit about any of these Disney live action remakes.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we talked about this already on here, and so apologies. But that's just Disney. He needed a job, and Disney's like, well, we're not ready to do Frozen yet. So we'll throw this bone to you. After Jungle Cruise and Black Adam and Super Pets, it's just been a bad run for that guy.
Like, did Super Pets even come out?
I think my kids watched it. So I guess the kind of like semi-big news here before we finish up with our trailers is we got a Fantastic Four cast leak. Now, normally we're pretty good about not covering rumor mill things here. But, one, all the rumors stopped when this came out.
Right.
And then number two, Marvel is not going to be at Hall H this year at San Diego Comic-Con, nor is there a D23. So when would they officially announce this? I don't know. Kind of leads me to believe this is legitimate.
I'm pretty on board with believing this. There's at least two of them that I just want to believe, but I kind of believe this.
So you're gonna have to fill in for me because I don't remember one of them. But
one of them nobody knows.
Paul, what's his face?
Yeah, the kid who's playing Johnny Storm.
Yeah,
I don't know him. You don't know him. Nobody know him. It's another one of the reasons why I kind of believe this. If you're going to make shit up, why would you make shit up with some kid nobody's ever heard of?
He's in Gladiator 2. I think he's the lead in that movie.
Good for him,
whenever that comes out. But Adam Driver is old Reed Richards, which just fucking spot on.
Sure. I'm super on board with that. I could not be more on board with that.
I'm going to save Sue for last because that's the shocking one to me. Daveed Diggs as the Thing.
Here, I'm going to now talk about why this one's my favorite one. And I'm just going to go ahead and say in the beginning of this, there's going to be some mild racial profiling in this. So, in my days of working in the comic book store, whenever a black dude walked into the comic book store, not a black geek, but just like a black dude walked in, he was always looking for Thor or the Hulk. A big guy who smashed things. I don't know why, but that was, and I thought maybe that's just a thing with Pensacola, but I've talked to guys who work in comic stores in other cities, and at least during that era, that was a thing. Thor was very popular among black dudes. The Hulk was. So they've kind of already shot their wad on those two characters. They can't switch casting on those and put those asses in the seat. They've kind of lost those that sort of opportunity. But the Thing's kind of a big guy who smashes things. He's a little more moody than those two, a little more depressed. But the problem is, with racially switching the Thing is canonically Jewish.
Daveed Diggs is Jewish.
Exactly. So that was my thing. You need to cast a black Jewish guy as this. But that's rare. You've got Lenny Kravitz, who's not an actor. You've got Slash, not an actor. You've got Eric Andre, who's going to like puke on everybody in this set. So I was like, who could you do?
Hang on a second. Eric Andre is the thing I'm also willing to consider, but carry on.
So I couldn't think of who else it could be. And then, this dude's name came up, and I was like, perfect. Because also, I love this dude. This guy's my favorite part of Hamilton. He was great on Kimmy Schmidt. He just seems like I haven't watched his fucking Doomsday Train TV show, but, I didn't really like the movie of that either.
That's a fighting words for Joseph.
I'm sure. Of course Joseph loves that movie.
How dare you?
It's so cynical.
The only way you could love that movie more is if there was a lady robot in it that you wanted to bone that ended up killing you.
That's probably true.
So I'm super down with this casting. If any of it's true, I hope this one's true.
The final one, the shocking one, is Sue Storm, which I think is going to be Margot Robbie.
This was the one that was most surprising to me because I know she's not, but she feels older than Adam Driver.
Yeah, I don't think she is. I mean, she was only like 20, maybe 21 in Wolf of Wall Street. Like, she was real young.
I just think she's always played an adult, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
So she just feels older. But they may be doing that on purpose because there's some sketchy stuff in Marvel continuity about the age gap
between the two of them.
The two. So maybe they're trying to just take that talk off the table with this. But I like Margot Robbie. This would be surprising because that would probably mean she's done with Harley Quinn,
which would be wild.
Because I was sure they would hang on to her if they hang on to anything.
She is probably the most marketable live action DC thing that they've got.
Right?
Yeah. The other name that you hear a lot is Vanessa Kirby, who I don't think she's necessarily a superstar on her own, but she's been in the last 3 Mission Impossible movies,
right?
Made $1 bajillion.
Right.
So, but all the four of them together has always been Margot Robbie, and it's hard for me to believe. To the exact same point, do you let her? Does she continue to get to be Harley Quinn? Or are we just saying we're done? Or she's done with Harley, which is just mind-boggling.
It's going to be crazy to do that.
I mean, particularly since this is... I think a year ago, 2 years ago, switching from DC Warner to Marvel Disney was a sure bet. Who wouldn't do it?
Yeah.
But at this point, things are a little shakier. Marvel isn't batting 1,000 lately, and DC's about to get a leg up. So, it would be pretty bold if she switched.
The brave and the bold.
I have one more thought since we were talking about how cool Daveed Diggs is, because I totally agree.
Right.
Favorite part of Hamilton, he's just a eminently charismatic guy.
Right.
Is he cool enough to make It's Clobbering Time a thing?
Well, first of all, I think It's Clobbering Time is a thing regardless. It's one of my favorite things. But yeah, I would worry that some actors might try to deliver that too subtly. Like the cyborg booyah in the Joss Whedon Justice League. I don't think Daveed Diggs is going to do that. I think he'll go for it. So that also makes him the right guy.
All right.
So, finishing up with our last 3 trailers. The first one that I think we probably have the least amount of thoughts on, Haunted Mansion. I think this movie's going to suck.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Is it going to be better or worse than the Eddie Murphy version?
I think it might be better than that.
Yeah. It's got Lakeith Stanfield in it, so I'm going to see it.
Yeah. Rosario Dawson, Owen Wilson, Lakeith Stanfield.
You do have a lot of random-ass people that you hate. Every time we talk about the casting of some movie, there's just one person you have a vendetta against.
Are we saying Rosario Dawson?
Yes, I am saying Rosario Dawson.
You have a vendetta against Rosario?
She's not my favorite. It's been really hard for me to accept her as Ahsoka.
Oh, right on.
I met her at Celebration. I was like, hey, cool.
I've always liked her.
Sure.
My big complaint about this movie is enough of the cast has been in other haunted house movies that should have been the shtick.
It feels like it on purpose.
Like everyone should have been someone from another haunted house movie.
listen, Haunted Mansion is my favorite amusement park ride of all time. It's incredible. It's 50 years old and it still holds up in its entirety. Where I fell off on this is in the California version of the ride, there is a character called the Hatbox Ghost. It is coming to Walt Disney World like 50 years later, but it's a kind of an iconic character. Fucking Jared Leto is playing with him.
Fair enough. We're out.
God.
We're all out.
It really, really took me out.
How does that guy keep getting jobs?
I fucking don't know.
What if we met Jared Leto and he was great?
I don't believe
I can't
it.
accept
I
it.
can't. I don't think it's true either. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's basically at this point. That's the only thing I'm working on. Is somebody just must really like this
Dude, and I talk a lot of shit about the guy. I've streamed Kings and Queens enough to at least have paid the guy $1.25. So, like, obviously I've donated to his career, but I can't stand him.
What's the last movie he did that was a rousing success?
That made money?
Yeah.
Or was, like, highly praised?
Really, either one.
I mean,
Dallas Buyers Club.
I mean, that would be the answer for both, though, and that would, the reconnaissance has come and gone since then.
Yeah.
He was in Blade Runner 2049, but we like to forget about it.
Well, I mean, I think he was good in that, but that movie was not. That was a critical success, but not a financial.
Not a financial, and he's not in it that much.
Right.
No.
Second is Killers of the Flower Moon. Martin Scorsese's like 3.5 hour epic. I don't know what.
I love that. I love that as he gets closer to his own mortality, he's like, "No, I can spend as long as I want on
I'm not
this.
fucking cutting shit.
Not a goddamn thing."
This has got Leo and all the usual
Literally
people.
everybody,
everyone
yeah.
you fucking are used to, and Jason Isbell. It looks good. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this story before.
I'm not.
This is a real thing that like people, basically rich people, white people, moved into this town and were like slowly over time killing the indigenous people who currently live there.
Right.
It's also one of like the first major cases the FBI had at its founding. It is a pretty interesting story.
I think it's interesting that Leo works for J. Edgar in this, since he's played J. Edgar.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Scorsese's next movie is apparently about Christ because he met the Pope or something.
Yep.
But,
He's already made a movie about Christ.
yeah,
he was good.
He's made 2 of them. And then finally, which by the way, Scorsese. I'm going to go off on this tangent for a second. Scorsese likes to work with the same people, right?
Right.
Maybe Adam Driver is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that was one and done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, his other Christ movie, I don't think Willem Dafoe ever worked with him again.
That can't be true, is it?
I can't think of another
I
time
don't
he
know
did.
it either. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it.
But I mean, Martin Scorsese, he's winding down. It's not just that we won't have him much longer. We won't have guys like him much longer.
Yeah.
So
No.
anything he does, I'm going to watch.
Yeah. I guess him and Spielberg like spontaneously called David Zaslav today and was like, "You have to stop. You have to stop cutting. Like,
Right.
you keep cutting things to save money. Saving money, it's like ruining the art form.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that. But and then finally, we sought to see some shit from Dune 2.
Yep.
God, the most anticipated movie of the year.
Florence Pugh's in it.
I mean, I feel like in this one they'll have to expand Florence Pugh's part.
Yes.
They'll have to expand Lady Jessica's part, because, I mean, really, she's not in the second half of that book very much at all.
Lady Jessica is going to have to be at least 80% more featured in this than...
But the first one was so good, they've earned a right to go in their own direction.
Yeah. Christopher Walken, fucking Elvis Presley.
Yep.
I mean, I could not be more excited about that. And Christopher Walken, man, it's time for him to do something to stop being
The
a punchline.
reconnaissance.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I like. Yeah. I mean, this is what they make movies for, man.
Yeah. I'm excited for everything about this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. And I want people to go see it because Denis Villeneuve has said he wants to do the third one, or the second book, but as a third movie.
Right.
And Paul becomes a raging asshole and absolutely the villain of the franchise at that point. And I want people who don't know that to experience that. And I want Timothée Chalamet to do it.
Yeah, no, totally. I want Timothée Chalamet, like just the people who live and die for him, to feel that.
Yeah.
It would be like if in Jedi Luke became the villain. That's pretty fun.
So that's the news.
That's the news.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Priscilla. Do you have?
I don't really have much. I mean, I think that it's so, if you hear they're making a Priscilla movie right after the Elvis movie, your immediate thought is, oh, well, this is going to have to be some kind of hit piece. But, I mean, Sofia Coppola, she is very positive, inappropriate age gaps. So I don't think this will be a hit piece. And the trailer looks good. That's about all I got.
Yeah, it's just so much Elvis content.
Right. You know what, though? I'm more excited about the Wham documentary that's coming to Netflix than I am Priscilla. So
that will be fun, too.
Yeah.
So that's the
news. All righty. What have we been watching the last...
Is there not an email?
Oh, God damn it.
You
so good
love
at
to
this.
forget that shit.
I do love to forget email. So we did get an email, which I'm actively pulling up, from one of our loyal listeners. Susie, I know you, and I'm sure that you sat down and had a very even-tempered, calm demeanor when you wrote this, but that's not how I'm going to read it, because it's funnier the way that I read it the first time. This is a direct response to some of our comments in our Spider-Verse episode, I believe. The Little Mermaid is way better than fine. I went to see both Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and The Little Mermaid, and the one I'll be rewatching is The Little Mermaid. These movies are 1 minute apart in length, and The Little Mermaid is the one that didn't feel long to me. Halle Bailey is excellent. I love that Eric is an actual character in the story, and he is as attractive as a prince should be. Melissa McCarthy does a great job as Ursula. Awkwafina is my favorite part as Scuttle, and I loved her song. Sebastian was really enjoyable. The only character I thought was lacking was Flounder, and that's a minor thing. It was a great time, and I love watching this little 2-year-old girl of color dancing in the aisle the whole time. Based on my parents' feedback, I think whether you're 2 or 62, anyone would enjoy it. I may be slightly biased as a redhead who grew up in the 90s, but I give it 5 stars. Thanks, Susie.
You know what? As someone who watched Spider-Man 3 for around the 60th time today, I'm on board with anybody who wants to stand by an opinion that the world thinks is wrong.
I like how last time we recorded, you got a gift. I got a direct rebuttal.
True. And my gift was great, by the way. It was everything I'd hoped it would be.
I'm so glad.
So, what I've been watching?
Yep.
Guys, our famous rating scale here is better or worse than Transformers. So, at least one of us had to see the new fucking Transformers movie.
I want to see it so bad, but I haven't had time.
I have seen it.
All right!
Transformers Rise of the Beast. Let me say this. I'm going to start off by saying this. Bumblebee is still the best Transformers movie.
Totally. Which is why I didn't make any money. People are awful.
This is probably the second best Transformers
movie.
Right on.
Shit. It's actually pretty fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
Right.
I questioned a lot of the plot motivations in it because you're like, this is just jumbled together. It's fine because it's a blast. Some things that really stand out to me: soundtrack fucking kicks. I love 90s hip hop. It's fucking loaded with 90s hip hop. Anthony Ramos is a really good lead. I mean, totally he's the best lead. I mean, I would still say Haley Steinfeld is probably the best lead.
Right.
But comparing him to Marky Mark and fucking Shia LaBeouf,
it's a reasonably low bar to clear.
Right.
He's so much better. The voice cast is really, really good. Surprisingly, fucking Pete Davidson as Mirage. Mirage is the lead Autobot in it, and they have really good chemistry together. And the Maximals, way fucking cooler in the movie than that show is when I watched it as an adult. I don't know all about this. I was a really big fan of. They, I would say, officially have distanced themselves from the Michael Bay stuff. We are in reboot territory.
Good.
I thought for a minute I could see the plot pieces lining up where you could be like, we can tell this story in the 90s before, and it could still line up, and then at the end of the movie they choose not to do those things. So it really does stand on its own. I don't really think that's a spoiler because if you've watched the trailer, you know Unicron is in it. And if you've watched the Michael Bay movies, Unicron is also in those. But no, it's better than Transformers. It's worth a watch. It's a good 2 hours at the theater. I think it's doing okay financially. I would be fine if it did a little bit better because I would like to see this cast of characters again. It ends on a pretty surprising twist. If you don't know it, don't watch it. Don't look it up. Go in there cold and try to see what it is because it's a fun
I
nod.
only kind of know the concept of it, because of a comic book that came out this week, but I still don't know the exact spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much more than
you
that.
You say it's surprising. If you gave me 5 guesses, I think I could have gotten it, but...
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, that's it.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, well, first of all, that's exciting, because I do want to see that. I just haven't had time. Man, I'm going to talk about something painful today. So, for most of my life, I have been a strong supporter of the beverage sweet tea. Sweet tea has been my favorite beverage. In fact, if you went back and found old Jehu's MySpace page, his 3 entrances, comic books, rock and roll, and sweet tea. As much as I talk about the other 2 at this show, on this show, you must know I love sweet tea. And when I was talking about that, I was usually talking about Chick-fil-A sweet tea, because it's the fucking gold standard. They do not make better sweet tea than Chick-fil-A. And I downed a lot of that over the years. Both times I was in the life, I was always working nearby a Chick-fil-A, which facilitated that. Drank so much of it. I had sort of parted from Chick-fil-A a few years ago when they took the anti-gay stance. I didn't necessarily break with them because of that, even though I do think that's bad. But it's more that just the place got so much busier when that happened. Like, I just always thought that was so fucking gross. If you look at the timeline, when they started to having to do the fucking lanes and the people directing traffic, it was exactly when Chick-fil-A came out as homophobes. That's fucking gross. And I would think that was a gross if even it was an opinion I agreed with, because I don't think there should be politics in delicious. So I actually hadn't, and plus I stopped living the life, so I'm not near a Chick-fil-A anymore. So I hadn't really had a drink of Chick-fil-A sweet tea in about 4 years, I think.
Wow.
So the other morning, I was out getting groceries. I was a little hungry. I was going to Publix. I was like, man, I'll fucking get me an egg and cheese biscuit and a sweet tea. Chick-fil-A sweet tea, worse than Transformers.
What?
They changed something, man. It was as bad as a McDonald's sweet tea. And McDonald's sweet tea is not the worst. Like, fucking Taco Bell, Subway are both worse, but they're like bag and box shit. They don't even deserve to be discussed. But to be as bad as McDonald's now, and I know what someone out there is probably thinking, it was early in the morning, maybe it's last night's sweet tea. I know what last night's sweet tea tastes like at Chick-fil-A. I've drank it many times. That wasn't the problem with this. They've changed something, and I'm not on board. Chick-fil-A sweet tea, worse than Transformers.
It's the bigotry seeping in.
I think it is. I think it's well, there are a lot of gay folk in the restaurant industry. Maybe they're losing those people, and maybe that's why it's not as good.
I'm going to challenge your hypothesis, though.
Okay.
When it comes to bigotry sweet tea, the best is Paula Deen's.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever been to Lady and Sons in Savannah, Georgia, but I would recommend going purely for the sweet tea. I dream about it at night. It's been 10 years since I've had it.
Right.
Fucking incredible. It's got like 3 times the amount of sugar, and they add mint to it, and it's of an incredible combination.
Right on.
That's the best sweet tea.
Okay.
When it comes to bigots, anyway.
Right.
Do you have anything else, sir?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, for me, I went and rewatched Across the Spider-Verse, which I mentioned both because I loved it and I wanted to see it again, and 2, because I wanted to reopen the floor to anything we fucking missed the first time.
The fucking score.
The score.
So, and that's the amazing thing about it is, like, movies have scores and soundtracks. Sometimes they just have one of the other. They just usually a soundtrack.
Right.
And usually one is, like, better than the other, stronger than the other. That's not the case with this movie. Both, like, the orchestral score and the soundtrack are both fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Which I both, it was something we missed last time. I've been listening to both on my Spotify since then. Also, I fucking love the 2099 theme. It's so fucking future-y sinister in just, like, this perfect way. I love it so much. Other, like, little detail-y thing, I just love the small things that they didn't have to make a thing that they just decided to make visually interesting. I love how just, like, the weird body horror of the bioorganic go-home machine. That's just like this creepy kind of living spider that crawls out of the ceiling and like webs you up.
Right.
Fucking terrifying. Just good stuff. And finally, one thing we didn't talk about, I'm surprised none of us talked about, what are the odds of Rio Morales living through Beyond the Spider-Verse?
Not good.
Yeah, I'd say not.
I don't think good either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
She gets so much screen time in this movie in a way that, maybe we just want to show what a good relationship he has with his mom.
I mean...
Or by saving his father, he kills his mother.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, really, he comes to, like, some sort of closure with her. They have a good relation at the end. Him and the dad do not. Yeah, you're right. He's by Lost rules, she's dead.
Yeah, 100%.
Anybody who finds closure, they're gone at the end of the episode.
That's funny. The one thing that we did not talk about that hit me later is that Miguel O'Hara's motivation is the same as Kingpin's in the first one. He does the exact same thing. Yeah. But he's learned the lesson of it.
Right.
You can't replace your family and things like that.
Oh, that's sharp. I didn't notice that. That's cool.
It is going to be a bummer if the end result of this whole movie is that you can't save everybody.
Yeah. I think that is...
Miles has been fighting that the whole time. That's been like his whole thing. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I watched some other anime, but I don't really want to fucking talk about it. I re-canceled my Netflix subscription. I can't remember why I brought it back, but I canceled it again, which I don't love it anyway because I don't watch anything on it, and it's the most expensive streaming service that I have.
Right.
But they fucking took off a Silent Voice, which is like one of my go-to movies. I know it seems too sad to just be like a comfort turn-it-on movie, but I just watch that shit whenever I don't have anything else to watch. And now it's fucking nowhere. Now I have to fucking buy it or something.
Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, like I'm down with having it. I should buy it. But
support the media, bro.
That was the only thing that they had going for
I'm right there with you because my go-to show for the past few months has been IT Crowd. I like to watch it and pretend I have friends.
Sure.
And they took it off Netflix, and it's nowhere else. I had to buy it. So, fuck Netflix.
Netflix, worse than Transformers.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Guys, I have one more thing to talk about.
Sure.
But I'm just teasing it right now. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm in the middle of it. But when I say what it is, you guys are going to fucking lose your shit.
Okay. But I think that's it for this week. Do we want to try for The Flash next week? Do we give that much of a shit?
Here's where Jehu is. I don't care what we do next week, but I riot if the week after is an indie.
So Dial of Destiny is not this Friday, it's next Friday.
This Friday, I think the big movie that's coming out is Asteroid City.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait to see.
I would do an episode on that also.
But who knows if he's going to play in town.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm totally... I will have The Flash watched before next week if we want to do it. But if we want to
I'll shoot for The Flash.
Yeah, we'll plan for that then. But thank you, everybody, for listening.
If we don't do it, can we do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Fuck yes.
Oh, hang on a second. That might be better.
Yes, I'm one because I've been wanting to watch that again. I've been thinking because I'm one of the people who, when I originally watched it, liked it, and then realized over time that I didn't. But I'm wondering if maybe now, divorced from any expectations, if I can just like it for what it is.
That's what I think we should do, personally.
Yeah, I already have thoughts on it, but you know what? Let's just... I like it. We'll do the indie review and then the new indie.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please rate and subscribe. Tell your friends about the podcast. If you had any thoughts about any of the news, any of the Fantastic Four casting, any of your favorite black Jews, you can read us at realfunnies@gmail.com. You can also
I mean, maybe somebody knows some black Jews beside the four that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Real Funnies, and Instagram, Real_Funnies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. We'll see you guys later.
Later.